Bertran along with
Sundeen.
and we are here going to be previewing each NFL team and going by division. We're going to start off with the NFC East. Ryan, give me your take.
All right, well, we're starting off with the NFC East because obviously the Eagles won last year. They got their first Super Bowl title. So let's see what we're going to do going into this year. I think the Eagles are going to be hard. They're going to be a good team. But what I do see that they might slip up from the preseason is Nick Foles isn't looking as good as he did in his lightning in a bottle thing going into the playoffs.
Did you see that Cleveland game?
Yeah, Cleveland 5-0.
5-0. That was a baseball game, basically, and he did not look good at all, which can't have Philly fans too excited.
No.
Also, just reading off recent reports, they don't even know if Carson Wentz will be ready. They said week 3, maybe.
They're hoping
week
3.
But do you want to risk it?
I mean, it's not going to be the same as Andrew Luck because he's coming back eventually, but... yeah, when you don't want to rush him and then have an issue again.
Yeah.
Especially it's his knee, so and he's their future. You want him to be there for another, 10 years.
Yeah, you want to keep him healthy. And the thing with the Eagles, though, I really like their defense. They added some key pieces. They got Michael Bennett.
Huge piece.
And then they still got Malcolm Jenkins. They have some younger guys who are up and coming. I still think they're gonna hold on to that first spot in the NFC East. But you might disagree with me on this one, but their contender, I would say, would be the Washington Redskins. Just off of what I've seen, they got Alex Smith. They just brought in Adrian Peterson. Now, a lot of people may doubt Adrian Peterson. He's 33 years old. But
people have been doubting Adrian Peterson his whole life.
Exactly.
So you never know what that guy can do.
Yeah, but I think with the O-line he has and the system that Alex Smith runs, Alex Smith can get rid of the ball really quick.
Yeah, they can do a lot of those run different ways because Smith is sneakily fast. People don't understand how quick he kind of is. So he might not break off a 40-yard run, but he could easily break off 12
He's an
yarders.
athlete.
He can break off 12 yarders, no big deal.
Easily. And I think defenses are going to have a hard time going up against Alex Smith.
I think the Redskins are going to be tough. The Cowboys, I'm not so sure about. They're not going to have that issue with Ezekiel Elliott they had all last year where they're going back and forth if he's going to get suspended or not. It's hard to tell. The Cowboys are really a hard team to tell. They have a good defense, but their safeties are still lacking. And that means, one big play could kind of screw them up a couple times.
I think the biggest question that's surrounding the Cowboys is what Dak Prescott is going to show up.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Is it going to be his rookie season where he just lit it up, or is it going to be his sophomore year where, he was throwing picks, he just looked kind of flustered back there?
Well, also, did people figure out Dak? Because, obviously, sometimes those quarterbacks come in heavy with the first year, but no one knows them.
That's true. They have no footage on them.
Then you get the video footage, and then usually they have those sophomore slumps, they call them. And
exactly.
So maybe he might not be as good as people think. I think he's going to be an average, above average quarterback, but he's not going to be as big as people think he might be.
The Cowboys are going to start off the season missing a key piece of their line. They're missing their center, Travis Frederick.
He's out for the whole season, I heard.
Is he out for the season?
They don't know.
He doesn't know what his return is going to be.
He has an autoimmune disease, I think it was.
It's something like that.
And they said I remember Mark Schlereth saying that he had that, and it took him a year to come back.
Yeah, easily could be out for the whole season.
And that's their strongest part of their offense.
That's your leader.
Their O-line.
Yeah,
and the center, yeah.
The center is the leader. He's making the calls and everything. So.
They might be good, but still, people coming down the middle, it's going to be hard. Giants are going to be the most hard to predict team, in my opinion.
Yeah, they were awful last year, and getting Saquon definitely helps. And then they got OBJ back. He was out most of the year, but I think the Giants still are in a little bit of a rebuilding phase, and that's not a good stage to be in when you have a quarterback who's 36, 37 years old.
I think he's 36, but yeah.
You don't want
I think they picked Saquon because they don't want to rebuild. I think they think Saquon's going to make an immediate impact. They just signed OBJ for a 5-year, $95 million thing, so he's happy.
Yeah.
So their offense might be good, and they shored up their O-line a little bit.
I think their offense is going to be the stronger part of their team.
Yeah.
But defensive-wise, other than Landon Collins and Damian Snacks, I can't name anyone else on that team.
That's a good point, yeah.
So it kind of worries you just on how great their defense will be and how much if they're going to give up big runs, big passes. I don't know. I think the Giants this year is going to be another,
they're hard to predict.
I'll give them 6 to 7 wins this year.
So who do you think's going to win the division then?
Eagles.
You think so?
I'm going to go with the Eagles.
I agree. The Eagles are going to win it. I'm worried about how they're going to start off without Carson Wentz. That's the only thing. If they lose 2 or 3 games in their first 4, it's hard to come back from that. What were they? 14-2? No, they were 13-3 last year. So that's already basically what they did if they lost 3 games in the first 4.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Eagles, though, still take first, but don't count out, in my opinion, don't count out those Redskins. I think the Redskins can easily contend with them. Moving on to the NFC North, we got the Bears, Lions, Packers, and Vikings. This one, off of last year, I mean, yes, Aaron Rodgers is back. He's going to easily be a contender.
Best quarterback in the league by far.
Best quarterback in the league. But I still I think the Vikings are going to easily
I think the Vikings are the most talented roster top to bottom. By
exactly.
far. They have
the
a
pieces.
potential Pro Bowler at almost every position on defense. Every position. And then their offense is starting to become better. And, like, they did well last year with Case Keenum. It is going to be weird to see what Kirk Cousins does, but they have Dalvin Cook coming back. Stephon Diggs got signed, so...
The thing about Kirk Cousins, this guy, you just got a complete competitor. He is going to give you his all every single
You like
snap.
that? You like that?
You like that?
I mean, I love that he competes like that. That's the one thing I love about Kirk, and I do think he's going to be better than Case.
He is.
And they went 13-3 last year. They do have a new OC, which is different, and their OC went to coach...
He's for the Giants.
Now. So we'll see how that goes. But having a new OC and a new quarterback coming together, that kind of helps because they're both going to, like, learn together, figure it out together.
Can be interesting, though. But, I mean, you look at they're getting Dalvin Cook back.
Yep.
They have a strong O-line.
Yep.
Their receivers, Adam Thielen.
Yep.
Adam Thielen.
The Minnesota wonder.
Laquan Treadwell, who was a first-round pick.
He's athletic, but he didn't do well last year.
Yeah,
but we can never know.
This could be a make-or-break season for him.
I agree.
And then... Obviously, you got the Minnesota Miracle, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was amazing.
That is a loaded receiving corpse. And then you got Kyle Rudolph as well.
Let's jump down to the Lions. They got second last year. I don't know if they're going to be able to repeat that because I think the Packers won't have as bad as a season as they did. But then again, the Packers let go of some good players. But let's talk about the Lions.
Lions, I mean, Matthew Stafford, obviously a huge competitor. He has the most fourth quarter comebacks, I think, out of any quarterback in the league.
Yeah, but why does he have the most fourth quarter? They're always down.
They're always down.
Why are you down, bro?
But it's good to know that you have that competitor in your quarterback. But, I mean, Marvin Jones Jr., great receiver.
Yeah.
You got Golden Tate, great receiver. The Lions, though, I don't think that they're going to be second in this league. If Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, I just think I don't know if the Lions can really make that push.
Yeah, and they're inconsistent.
They are inconsistent.
They've always been inconsistent, so it's just hard to see what they're gonna do.
I mean, you got free agent questions surrounding them the next offseason. I mean, Ezekiel Ansah, is that it? Ezekiel Ansah or Ziggy Ansah?
Ziggy Ansah.
Yeah, he keeps getting tagged. Sure. Is he going to be there next year? You got, I mean, their secondary. You got Darius Slay, he's good.
Darius Slay,
he's a pretty good defender. I haven't seen
big
too
play
much
Slay,
out
they
of him.
call him.
Yeah, big play Slay. I don't know. I need to see a little bit more from him, and then. I mean, I don't even really know too many other names in their secondary. They got Glover Quinn, I think, and But I think the Lions, they just need a little bit more pieces, and then maybe you can.
Who's coaching them this year? I forget.
They got that's Matt Patricia.
Oh,
they got Matt Patricia.
I don't know if Matt Patricia can be a good head coach, man. This fool's wearing backwards hats and still has the like.
Bro, we'll go off the backwards hats.
I'm just saying, come in professional. Come in professional. Like, come on, dude. You wearing sweats to an interview?
Yeah. I know.
At least wear a shirt and tie.
He's already in that Belichick mode where he thinks he can just stroll in doing whatever. It's like, you gotta look presentable.
So we'll see. Their defense will probably be better, but yeah, you don't know about their offense, so we can see.
Okay, Chicago Bears. Tell me about the Bears.
Who's gonna be their quarterback? Deshaun Kaiser this year or what?
They got Trubisky. They got Mitch, but
the guy who had 5 interceptions one game on the first 4 throws or something.
Something like
5
that.
5 interceptions, 4 throws.
It was a mistake to have him as the starter last year.
Oh, it was so bad. But they were doing so terrible.
You were kind of they were in desperation mode.
I mean, yeah, they went 5-11, so. Yeah.
This year, though, could be different for them. They got Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
That could easily help because they had no receivers last year.
Nah.
They lost Alshon Jeffrey to the Eagles. They had.
I just don't know about the Bears, man.
I just don't. They got Trey Burton though from the Eagles.
Yeah,
that helps. They got some weapons for Mitch Trubisky to throw. They got 2 solid running backs.
But how is Mitch Trubisky gonna play? He didn't play well last year.
You never know. I mean, look at Jared Goff. His first year, he was awful.
Yeah, but
his second year, he just lit it up. But
I kind of put that towards Anthony McVay as well. Don't let him go untouched.
Sean McVay.
Sean McVay, my bad. It's because you're Anthony, bro.
Oh, it's all
I was giving you credit, bro.
It's all good.
No, Sean McVay, but yeah, you're right. Jared Goff did have a great year, and you never know what can happen.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold him out. I think he still. I think he could do something special this year, but I still definitely think they're last.
What also might help the Packers to get this is that they're playing a third-place schedule as opposed to the Vikings playing a first-place schedule.
That is true.
So that's different. You know, you're playing harder teams, and, you know, that makes it a more difficult season. But I do think the Vikings and the Packers are going to be the 2 up at the top.
Yeah.
I think they're going to battle for it, and I think they're both going to be around either 12-4 or 11-5 and kind of just battling for that top spot.
I agree. It should be an interesting... It should be an interesting road for both those teams coming down into the last few weeks.
That's going to be a competitive division, but yeah, I agree. And I mean, let's go into the nether competitive division.
This
NFC is the South.
By far the strongest powerhouse of the division in the league.
It's definitely it's the hardest one to predict because you never know how Carolina's going to do. You never know how Atlanta's going to do. Tampa Bay, they have players, but they're just undisciplined.
I mean, Jameis Winston is just hurting his team year after year, and now he's suspended.
So good,
he suspended the first few games, I think.
What was it?
Off that
it
was off the Uber
ride in Arizona, bro.
Yeah.
Trying to hit on a girl in an Uber? Come on, you have money. Just go to Scottsdale, it'll work.
I think it's going to be another rough year for the Buccaneers. They got Ryan Fitzpatrick as their starter, which I'm always a fan of. He always gives it his all. He's a good competitor, but
he's a great backup quarterback. But how old is he now? Too. He's getting
too old. Too
old.
Hey, he's got that Harvard knowledge, though, so maybe he could dice up a few teams. But,
grad.
Against the Saints, Panthers, and Falcons, not a shot. You got...
Yeah, the Falcons were weird last year, you know?
Who takes this division this year?
I mean, the Saints are good, but Drew Brees is getting old, big guy. He's getting old. He's still great.
He's got the talent, though. He's got the running backs. He's got...
Yeah.
He's got Michael Thomas. He's got, Alvin Kamara. Yeah. He's got... Mark Ingram is suspended the first 4 games. Though.
Yeah, but I don't know so much about Mark Ingram. He was kind of falling down last year.
He's kind of more of a powerhouse.
I was going to say, great third down back. Maybe goal line back.
You would say third down? I would say more of a first down, get some yards, and then...
I'm saying short third down.
Okay, yes.
Maybe a third and 3.
Okay,
you put him in.
But third and long, Kamara.
No.
You got to have Kamara.
Well, I like how they do have that, it's kind of like the old USC with Reggie Bush and, what was it, White?
Lendell White.
Lendell White, yeah. You know what they call the Thunder and Lightning?
Lightning right there.
I mean, low-key, they kind of have a little bit of that still.
Yeah, I think, though, is Ingram going to be a free agent next year? I think he might be gone after this year.
You never know.
It makes sense, though, too, because Kamara could easily be an all-down back.
Yeah.
If you want him to be. So, we'll see. But I think New Orleans takes the division this year.
And you can't really go wrong with, who is their coach again?
Peyton, yeah,
Sean Payton's, and still, in my opinion, one of the top 5 coaches. He's always up there. He's a great coach.
He's a player's coach.
Year in, year out. And he's an offensive guru.
Yeah. The players want to, if you have a coach that the players want to play for, then that helps. That easily can get you a few more wins in the season.
All right, let's go to the hardest team to predict is the Panthers.
Yeah. Cam Newton, a monster some years. And
MVP one year.
MVP 1 year, following year wins, 5, 6 games?
Yeah.
And then last year makes the playoffs, does pretty well, but...
Well, they were the only team with 3 teams to go to the playoffs last year.
Have they done that in the past 2 years, though? I feel
they might have, actually. I think when the Falcons went, they did it as well.
Yeah, they've always been... This division
that's why they're the hardest division in NFC.
You'll never
NFC
know.
In general, I think, is better than AFC as well.
This division will come down to Week 17, and I'm going to predict it's going to be... New Orleans and the Falcons that are going to be pushing for that. Who wins the division?
And we can see how Christian McCaffrey does. He's good, but he's a little small for the NFL.
Yeah, but he's an athlete. He's more of a third down back when I look at him. Some guy that you want running routes.
Yeah,
but
he's kind of like their Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, they just got C.J. Anderson. I don't know if he's going to be their first down ground and pound running back, but he is a little bit of an upgrade from Christian McCaffrey
Okay.
for when it comes to running between the trenches.
So you think it's going to be Saints-Falcons?
I think it's going to be Saints-Falcons, and
Do you
Carolina
think they'll-
easily gets a wild card spot, though.
You think they're going to have 3 teams again?
I do.
I think Panthers might be outside looking in, but you never know. Like you said, I think week 14 we're gonna kind of know and see how that comes down to the home stretch. But I do think those 2 teams, like Saints and Falcons, will be at the top, and the Panthers will kind of be on the outside looking in, and the Buccaneers are just gonna be talented but stupid,
Yeah.
as always.
Yeah, and the reason why I could agree with you, though, how the Panthers could be outside looking in is because let's move over to the NFC West.
Uh-huh.
This is another division where I think 3 teams could easily make a playoff push.
It's a weird thing because there's some up and risers.
There's up
in
and risers
in NFC West.
And
They
2 of those
they might
teams.
be a year away, but you never know. It could be this year.
2 of those teams: Arizona Cardinals, San Francisco 49ers.
Those are the 2 I was thinking of. Yes.
Exactly. Rams easily. I think you and I can agree they will take the division this year.
Yeah, after all those pickups they made on defense,
Their
too.
defense is loaded. They have. I mean, they got what?
They still have Aaron Donald.
They got Aaron Donald.
My opinion, the best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
Him or
easily.
Khalil Mack.
Yeah. See if Khalil Mack even
And plays,
gets
but
out
yeah,
here this
let's go.
season. But I mean, you got Aaron Donald. You got Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib.
Yeah, Aqib.
I mean,
I still think that guy's a monster.
they have. And then they even picked up. They got Sam Shields, who will be a nickel or a dime, but
Sherman will come in and play a good player too every once in a while.
Sherman's on the 49ers.
Oh, he's on the Niners.
Yeah.
You're right. Good call.
Yeah. But who are there? Do they still have Tremaine Johnson?
I think so.
LaMarcus Joyner, I think, is also
Joyner,
on
yep.
there. I mean,
Yeah.
their secondary is absolutely stacked.
Do they still have Wade Phillips as their DC?
Yes.
So I like that. I love that they have, McVay and then Phillips, because it's just such a difference. McVay's what, 32? Not even.
And
And Phillips is like 89.
Yeah, he's been coaching
No
longer
offense,
than
Wade Phillips.
Yeah, Wade Phillips has been coaching longer than McVay has been alive.
And he still has
Which
the best
is just
Twitter in the
hilarious
league. He
to
still has
me.
one of the best Twitters in the league.
Best son of bum.
Son of bum.
And his defenses are always stacked no matter where he goes. When he was on Denver, one of the greatest defenses to ever play.
And he
in
was
the game.
the DC for the Cowboys for a good amount of years
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
So the Rams are gonna do well. It's gonna be weird between Seattle, because I think they're gonna make a little drop this year.
You know what? I've been talking to people. I've been talking to Seattle fans, and everyone they all kind of have accepted fate. Seattle is going to have a down year this year.
Yeah.
They lost some key pieces. I mean, you have Russell Wilson, who you never count out.
You got to put your trust in
He
Russell.
is a great
I think
quarterback. He is a great leader.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, receiving-wise, he has Doug Baldwin.
Yeah.
He just lost Paul Richardson to the Redskins. He
Yeah.
was a great young
I
talent.
don't really like Doug Baldwin as other people do. I mean, he's
Yeah.
all right, but he's not great.
Yeah, I think he'll be a Seahawk legend as a receiver, but he won't be a Hall of Famer. But he does give a lot of effort. But I mean, who else do they got? No one. I don't even know who.
I don't remember who was talking to Pete Carroll, but he was mentioning it like as in USC where the seniors graduate and he has a new coming of freshmen, but it ain't college anymore, big dog.
Yeah,
no one else has seniors going out. You're the only one. So
yeah, I think Seattle will be last this year.
A good question to me is we're going to move on to the team we're around. I mean, because we're in Phoenix right now at ASU. Shout out. Cardinals. Bradford. What's he going to do? When's Rosen going to come in?
My take is if the Cardinals can keep Bradford healthy, he should be the quarterback throughout the whole year. But that is a stretch.
Yeah.
Bradford sneezes and he tears his ACL.
That's what I'm saying.
He does something ridiculous.
When's the last time he's played a full season?
I don't even remember. I think it was for the Eagles when he was on the team,
Yeah.
and that was what 2-3 years ago.
At least.
But Bradford when he's healthy, he's easily a top 5 quarterback.
Oh yeah, I mean he has it all.
Did you see him the first week last year when he was on the Vikings? He was slinging it all around.
But
he
then
looked
he got
unstoppable.
hurt week 3, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sucks.
So, and the thing is too with Rosen, in his college days, he was kind of injury-prone quarterback too.
That's what I was worried about.
You hope that he doesn't fall in the same
he's
category.
Just lanky, He's not very thick.
Yeah.
He's not really thick.
He needs to get some meat on him, that's for sure.
But also what I heard about Bradford is that he's, one of the smartest minds. So maybe they brought him in to play a couple games and just kind of mentor Josh.
He would be a great mentor for Josh. I do think though that the Cardinals, if they were smart this year, if they can keep him healthy, stay with Bradford. Let Rosen learn a year under Bradford. And then, I mean, Bradford knows this isn't his team. They just drafted a quarterback 1 overall.
Yeah, well, he's a smart guy.
He's a smart guy, but I hope
guy.
he finds a team where he can have success with. But he is just injured way too much.
His career is at the last legs though as well.
Yeah, at one point, I mean, one or two more blown out knees, and he might just call it a career himself.
Yeah. The hardest team to predict, in my opinion, is the Niners. I think they're a year away from being a great team, but they are on the right track to be a great team.
I would say a 9-7, maybe 8-8 record this
really?
year.
I don't know if they're going to be that good.
I think they're a system team.
Well, how do you feel about Jimmy G?
I don't want to go off of just those 5 games that he started.
Yeah.
But he looked pretty good. But they didn't have a lot of film on him. But let's just say...
And Kyle Shanahan being the coach.
Kyle Shanahan is a smart coach.
We'll see how that goes. Great offensive mind.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what's going to tear defenses apart. I think that is what... It's just going to be the receivers being in the right place at the right time. You don't need some flashy receivers. They got Marquise Goodwin. That's a good receiver. They got Pierre Garçon.
Yeah.
Their tight end...
Did they pick up Jordy too?
Jordy
Nelson.
No, that's the other Bay Area team. That's the Raiders, man.
That's the Raiders. That's Raiders. Okay, yeah. But the Niners are gonna be the hardest team because of Shanahan coming in. Because of no one really knows Jimmy G. He did get hurt. Yeah. So you never know. He might be good. But
if he gets hurt, they're done.
How many good quarterbacks are good until they get hurt? Just like we were talking about with Bradford.
That's true.
He's a great quarterback, but how long is he going to be able to stay on the field?
Yeah, if Jimmy G gets hurt, you got C.J. Beathard as a backup quarterback. That dude was awful. I mean, you couldn't. You had no offensive rhythm.
A lot of eggs in that Garoppolo basket. I don't even know how he has a nickname yet, dude. Jimmy G. I mean, I know
it flows though.
As well though, dude. He was dating a porn star. Remember that? Whatever. It's like Jimmy G, bro. Like you're better than this. Better than this.
It's crazy because when he got signed, I mean that was the #1 Christmas present in San Francisco. Was a Jimmy G
was it a second
jersey.
Rounder?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean they got? Yeah.
No, I'm talking about when he signed with the Niners. Everyone was getting Jimmy G jerseys for Christmas.
There's a lot of hype around him. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if that hype is worth it. That's all I'm gonna say. So who do you? We think the Rams are gonna win, obviously, that division. Who do you think's gonna come second? You think the Seahawks are gonna pull it out? You think the Cardinals are gonna be surprised? Or Niners are gonna surprise?
Seahawks are the last place,
if not
third
or
place.
fourth as well.
You know what?
I honestly don't think it's going to be a good division after the Rams. I think they're all going to just be kind of fine in their way.
This is a make or break for this division. I think three teams could easily, if they stayed healthy, they could all be contenders. Rams easily take #1. I'll say Cardinals contend. I think their defense is underrated. They have some really good pieces. They always got Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.
They got Budda Baker, who is a great young talent.
You can never go wrong with Honey Badger too. He always plays solid.
Honey Badger's not there anymore.
He's not.
He went to Houston.
Oh Jesus.
You got it.
Yeah, Peterson's still the best, but yeah, you just never know. Then
I would say I think their defense is.
But I agree.
They got that. I can't even pronounce this guy's last name. But they got a nice pass rusher from. God, where did he play for? He was their first round pick last year. It's an impossible name. It starts with an N. But I don't know. But he's a great young talent. They did lose Calais Campbell. Calais Campbel. Yeah, but they got. I think their defense
I still think the Rams are the only team going to the playoffs in this division.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair though.
So now that we're done with the NFC, who do you think is going to take it overall?
What? Just the conference?
The conference. It's a hard one.
You know what?
I think the Eagles might be able to, but it all relies on Wentz.
I'm going with the Vikings.
You think the Vikings?
I think they're the most.
As a Vikings fan, I hope so, but I just don't want to be biased about it.
I know. I wanted to get a smile on your face.
Stupid.
I think the Vikings though, they're the most complete team. You were saying earlier, they can easily have a Pro Bowler in every position.
It's just their defense is going to be good.
Their defense is amazing. They have the offensive pieces. I think
them and the Jaguars are going to easily have the best 2 defenses in the league. But yeah, I'm just worried about their offense. But like we said, Dalvin Cook's coming back, so that could be a huge piece for him.
Yeah.
And he played great in only 2 games last year. So.
Vikings winning the conference, though, for me.
Okay. Let's jump back. I'm gonna take the Eagles, Vikings, but I really think it's gonna be a toss-up. It's hard to tell just because of how the Eagles are gonna do in the beginning, and I think the Cowboys might be a dark horse, but you never know with that defense.
Yeah.
And that, like you said, with their offense, one of their main guys got hurt, and that's like their offensive line. I mean,
Cowboys defense just not really showing me too much.
yeah, and their offensive line is easily their strength. So,
but we'll see how they do without their leader up in the middle in the trenches.
All right, let's go to the AFC East because the Patriots won the AFC last year, and
are they gonna do it again?
I mean,
are they? Let's just start off first. So are they gonna win this division?
The Dolphins and the Jets. Yes, you're gonna win.
This is a no-brainer. Yeah,
I mean,
Patriots easily take this division.
If you don't put money on the Patriots to win the division, man, you're just giving money away.
Plus, you're gonna have 2 rookie quarterbacks possibly starting. And then you got Ryan Tannehill, who
trust Tannehill.
No one's even seen him in over a year.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Darnold's gonna be good, but he's still a rookie.
He's
learning. I don't think he's gonna be able to carry the team on his back.
Yeah, who competes though with the Patriots? If you were to give
no one.
No one.
I mean, Buffalo Bills. What is it? Josh Allen. Is he gonna play Week 1?
It's looking like that, yeah.
I didn't think Josh Allen was going to be as good as he is. I know it's preseason, but he's made some plays where remember when he did that one fake and then he did a little the circle button and then went out for that first down, little spin move. So he's a lot better than I thought, and then obviously he has just a cannon for an arm.
Yeah, but he hasn't really landed too many of those deep throws.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Bills, and
which just comes with practice, though.
I think the Bills and the Jets are going to be second, and then the Dolphins are going to be the last. But
really,
I'm just not so sure about either of those quarterbacks. I think Darnold's going to be better in the long run, but I think Josh Allen's going to be better like in the first 2 years.
I will agree with you. I think the Dolphins will be last. They did lose their best receiver, Jarvis Landry. I mean, their tight end, Julius Thomas, just retired.
Yeah.
Retiring to go pursue a PhD. Best of luck to him, because that's awesome. But Buffalo and New York, yeah,
the Patriots just run.
Patriots are just the Patriots, and it's funny if you ever look back at it. This division, no quarterback ever really even wants to go play in this division because they got to face Tom Brady twice a year. Most likely,
Bill
Belichick. You're most likely you're not going to win that division.
No.
I mean, look over the years. What other great quarterbacks have been in that division?
Well, I mean, even if you look to I think it's the last 16 years, the Patriots went to the Super Bowl 8 of those years. So, it's hard to even beat them in their division, much less beat them in the AFC going to the Super Bowl.
It's amazing. So. Can we conclude Patriots win this division? No one else contends even for a playoff spot.
I mean, yeah, like last year the closest team was 9-7 Bills, and they lost Tyrod Taylor, who I think kind of held them last year.
Yeah, so it's a rebuilding year for 2 teams, and Dolphins. I think they're going to be hurting this year.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's jump over to the AFC North, where, I mean, this could be an interesting division.
Yeah.
You have. And it never really has been because you always know which team is going to be last.
Yeah, the Browns.
But let's see. Let's go. I'm going to take the Steelers again to win this division.
I agree.
They have great offensive weapons. They got Big Ben.
I feel like they're the most talented team that hasn't reached their potential, in my opinion.
And I don't know. Is it? And you want to know? You try to figure out what that is. I mean, is Big Ben just? I think Big Ben is just getting really tired of getting smoked by Tom Brady every single time in the playoffs, and then he just lost to the Jaguars.
I mean, Jalen's talking a lot of nonsense about Big Ben too. He's talking a lot of nonsense about a lot of them.
But I mean, in the end, I don't think any of those quarterbacks really care what Jalen Ramsey has to say.
Yeah, I think it does. They're not going to say it publicly, but when they're playing him, they're going to remember something.
Oh yeah, they're going to go after him and see are you actually as good as you think you are? And he is a great player.
Oh yeah.
But I think those quarterbacks who have the talent and the arm strength,
Big Ben does.
Big Ben, and then I mean the other great quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, they're all going to be going. Matt Ryan, they'll all be going after
Jalen. But no, he didn't really talk much about any good quarterback except Big Ben, in my opinion, because he was just going after Josh Allen. If
you go on the web online and just look at it'll type in Jalen Ramsey quarterback comments or something.
Really?
He actually named off I think 25 quarterbacks.
Jeez. So basically everyone.
Just about everyone.
Well, and then he kind of gave his little guy, Blake Bortles, he's like, oh, he's better than you think. It's like, bro,
It's like, no,
if he
come
wasn't on your team, you'd be talking some
You
mess.
would talk so much crap to him.
Yeah. So the Steelers, I agree, are probably the most offensively gifted. We'll see how they do. I still don't know how much I trust Mike Tomlin. He's a good players coach, but not a good X and O coach to me.
Does he hold a lot of discipline?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if he has a lot of like
You
discipline.
remember,
with
I
his
think it was
players.
2 years ago, this guy was on the field for a kickoff.
Yeah, I
A
remember
kickoff
that.
return. Like, dude, you're not even disciplined yourself, so how are you going to discipline your players?
Yeah, I do. But Steelers definitely have the most talent. They got Le'Veon, who is definitely. This will be his last year with the Steelers.
In my opinion, there's like 3 wide receivers that are best in the league, and Antonio Brown's up there.
Antonio Brown,
They're
you
like
got
1A,
Juju
1B,
Smith, who is a
1C.
great athlete.
Yeah, he was great last year too.
And then, I mean, they have. I want to say they have Eli Rogers, but I also could be wrong.
I forgot about
He's. I don't know. He's. I mean, not as big
Yeah.
a big of a name, but those two guys, though, in general, those are some great players.
Yeah. Let's jump down to the Ravens,
Ravens.
who got second last year. I mean, Joe Flacco's good. He's looking good. I think Lamar Jackson, them picking him up as a first-round pick, will help him play better, but Lamar Jackson's not going to play over Joe Flacco, in my opinion, at least not this year.
Yeah, no. I think the smart thing to do is give Joe this year to play, prove himself once again.
And he's a Super Bowl winner.
He's got a chip on his shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
so he has to play. But the thing with Joe, he has to play good about every game. If he has a game where he throws 3 interceptions, then you're gonna hear if and it's at M&T Bank Stadium, you're gonna hear that whole stadium start chanting Lamar Jackson's name.
Yeah.
And that's gonna piss him off, and that could make him lose some confidence.
Well, also the thing about it is, like, when we were growing up, the Ravens were always known for their defense, and it's kind of not been that way in the last couple of years. Ever since Ray Lewis, it's just like it was okay, but now it's just kind of been declining steadily, and now they're probably at their worst since I've seen them in a long time. On defense, that is.
I want to say, Ravens will be the closest team to compete with the Steelers, but I don't think the Ravens will make the playoffs.
Okay.
I'd actually think only the Steelers will make the playoffs
How
in
do you
this
think
division.
about the Bengals this year, though?
Bengals will be the worst team in the league.
You think
or
so?
not in the league. They'll be the worst team in their division.
Okay.
They got Andy. I mean, yes, they have Andy Dalton and AJ Green, but other than that, they really don't have anything much. They have John Ross, who maybe will do good. He's He had the fastest combine or 40-yard dash, but I don't think they have the pieces. I don't think they have the discipline. That's for sure. Marvin Lewis has shown multiple times that he cannot control this team, and for some reason, the Bengals are so damn cheap they can't get a new head coach. That fool's been around.
They're just cheap.
Dude, no team has had a. I think Marvin Lewis has been on the team. He's the second longest tenured coach besides Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And he hasn't won a playoff game.
Yeah.
He has not won one. It's just like they find a way to lose every time.
They're stuck in mediocrity, and it's just like, are you guys okay with it? And I guess they are. Because
their fans sure aren't.
They're not. Well,
I think their fans are livid that they signed Marvin Lewis for another 2 years. I want to say.
Yeah, but the fans aren't cutting the checks.
They're not.
They're not. I mean, technically they are,
but fan satisfaction does play a role in.
I think John Ross will be good, but speed's not everything, as we all know.
And then their defense,
Dalton's average, maybe above average. I don't know if I'd go above average, but I just don't trust him.
Yeah.
AJ Green's still one of my favorite wide receivers, though. But I think he'd be so much better if he had a better quarterback.
Yeah,
I think he masked a lot
I think
of what.
Dalton might be on his way out of Cincinnati.
They do have a good pass rush, though, with Geno Atkins.
And Carlos Dunlap.
Yep.
But other than that, secondary, they got Drake Kirkpatrick, and they just lost Pac-Man Jones to Denver. Yeah. And then they just lost Iolka, their safety, to the Vikings.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Bengals will be that great. I think they'll be last, which leads us over to the Cleveland Browns,
who normally are last.
But
the cellar dwellers.
Give me your take on the Browns.
They are going to be the most interesting team to watch by far this year.
Easily.
Tyrod Taylor, I mean, he got hurt last game because of I think it was his hand, but he came back in.
It's like a broken finger, I think.
But he came back in during a preseason game.
Yeah.
And I mean, as we've been watching Hard Knocks, as we love, their coach was even saying, he's like, I don't want to play with players through preseason and get them hurt. And then he puts in Tyrod after he gets hurt. Like, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Hugh Jackson really knows what he's doing out there, but I think his OC and DC do know what they're doing.
I have a question for you. How many like say they went 0-3 first couple games, do they get rid of Hugh quickly or do they hold on to him?
No. They'll hold on to Hugh.
They're gonna hold on to
Hugh
him.
is a player's coach. I think the players like to play for Hugh.
Yeah, but I don't
If
know
they
about
had
the
another,
GM.
if they only won 3 games though.
No, I'm saying they went 0-3.
I know, yeah, but say if they only won 3 games altogether, Hugh is out.
Oh yeah, I think if they go anything under 5 or 6, they're gonna question it.
Yeah, I think that's respectful.
5 or 6 wins, I mean.
But here's another question: does Baker play this year?
I think he's gonna come in.
I think he will.
I think he's gonna come in. I think that, like I was saying, I don't know if they're gonna go 0-3 because Tyrod's a good quarterback. He's just solid. He doesn't give away the ball.
Tyrod can get you wins.
Yeah, I mean he did with Buffalo last year. He brought him to the playoffs.
He's serviceable. He's a 9-7, 8-8 quarterback who will get you wins, and he's mobile. He will get you out of those hard third down situations.
Mm-hmm.
But
he doesn't make mistakes.
But I think he could get hurt easily just because those mobile quarterbacks throw their body out there a little bit more than the pocket passers.
Well,
and so he starts running. He gets hit a wrong way in the rib cage. He's out. Baker comes in, doesn't give it up.
Well, my question actually is, do you think Baker would come in first, or what about Drew?
Drew who?
Stanton.
No.
Baker. Hugh said they're still battling for a second stringer.
I don't think that would really make anyone too happy in Cleveland.
I'm not saying I would make that decision. I'm just saying that's what this guy does. I don't think Hugh Jackson's the smartest guy.
I don't think Hugh's the smartest guy either. But I want to say if Drew Stanton went in there, that would get Cleveland fans so pissed off. Like, this guy is your number 1 overall pick, number 1 overall in the draft, and you got Drew Stanton coming in before him. No, you throw him out there, you get him the reps, and you just, I mean, it's
I don't
not.
think they're gonna compete for playoffs. I think you gotta get Baker reps, and then just see what you got there. You picked him number 1 overall, so you kind of you have to play him.
No, yeah, they won't make playoffs, but they will. I'll give them at most 7 wins.
7 wins isn't bad. I don't think they're going to be quite that good. I think they're going to be more 6-10ish. But I could either see them going 5-11 or 7-9.
They have the offensive weapons though.
Juice might be good.
Juice, and then you got Josh Gordon if he can stay sober.
Gosh.
But I mean, if he's when he's out there, his first game back last year against the Chargers, he almost had 100 yards, and he was going up against Casey Hayward.
We'll put him as an X factor for sure.
Yeah, and then you have Antonio Callaway.
Mm-hmm.
He's an athlete.
Yeah.
And then you can't forget David Njoku. That dude is a beast.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have the offensive talent.
Yeah.
But what do they have the offensive protection?
Can
their O line
keep them going too as well?
Yeah. What's their defense going to be? They have the names. They could be great, but they also could
a lot with
just get torn apart.
Chemistry, as you see with who we're going to talk about next. And actually, let's just jump. So let's say who you think is going to win.
Okay.
North.
Pittsburgh wins. Baltimore contends, and Cincinnati is dead last.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Cincinnati's going to be terrible, but I think they're going to be kind of like fighting with that 6-10 mark. Maybe even like they might all the way drop down to 4-12 though.
Yeah, it might be a rough year for Cincinnati fans.
And then Cleveland, it's just they're kind of X factoring. They're just going to see what they got this year.
Cleveland, anything more than 3-4 wins is excitement for those fans.
Oh my God, it's more wins than they got the last 3 years 2 years combined.
Cleveland is looking for a new hero, and because they just lost LeBron, they need a new face. They need a new face,
LeBron.
And they need a reason to to root for their sports.
Yeah, I agree with that. The Browns will be happy if they just do somewhat well and they see progress, in my opinion. So yeah, I think the Steelers are going to be up top, but I don't know if the Ravens are going to do good. Bengals and Browns at the bottom.
All right, let's move over to the AFC South.
One of the best defenses in the league, if
One
not
of the best
best
defenses, and honestly, the NFC South, 3 teams I thought were going to make.
South.
I know, but I want to say NFC South, 3 teams I thought would easily make the playoffs. AFC South also. Another 3-team playoff push right there. You have the Houston Texans, who have Deshaun Watson.
Coming back.
That dude was a baller last year.
Monster.
He was a monster. They're going to have a great defense,
I can't believe
too.
he got picked up so late in the draft. That was a huge pickup for him.
They have great pass rushers as well.
Their defense was always pretty solid.
Yeah, defense always solid. We don't have to even go too far into that.
No.
Their offense, though, they got Will Fuller. They got DeAndre Hopkins.
I like Will Fuller the fifth or whatever.
I mean, and then they have, what's his name? Lamar Miller. Good running back.
And DeAndre, like you said, I think he's one of the better wide receivers in the league.
Exactly, not a question. They are easily going to make.
So, yeah, we'll see how their offense does. But I agree that they're going to be really good this year.
Yeah.
But especially, well, I mean, obviously, we're just assuming Deshaun makes it through the whole year.
We are. Colts.
Andrew Luck coming back.
But that is the only thing that they have going for them.
That's true.
I think the Colts are the team that's just going to be dead at the bottom.
They're low-key rebuilding.
They are rebuilding.
They had that terrible GM that just led them through so much bad times, and that's why Andrew Luck kind of got hurt, man. He was just getting mollywopped behind that O-line.
He's got no O-line. I can't name one person on that O-line.
Nope.
I think their best guy, Anthony Costanzo, I think he just retired. And he was serviceable. He wasn't even that great.
Their O-line's young and better, but that doesn't mean they're going to be good this year. O-line's all about chemistry.
You know what? Who they did get though? They did get that guard.
Yeah.
They got that guard at Notre Dame. That's a start. That's a start. That's one guy.
That was a good pickup.
That's a great pickup. I've seen his highlights already from the preseason. Yeah. He's showing why he was the best O-lineman in that draft.
So, yeah, Texans and Colts are going to be – they're hard to predict just because, there's a lot of things that we don't know, just like how good Deshaun Watson's going to be.
And will Andrew Luck even be good? Will he even be good this year? Will he be? I think his start against the Ravens on the preseason game, he didn't do too much. He showed some progression. He threw a pick, though, in the end zone. Or in the Reds. It might have been right on the goal line.
The team I think that's going to probably be the worst, though, the one team we haven't talked about is the Titans.
Really? Okay.
I always thought Marcus Mariota was going to be a little bit better than the NFL than he's shown to me.
He's a good, like Jalen Ramsey commented on Marcus Mariota, he's a good field general. I think he has the leadership, but does he have the arm? Does he have the skill to march an offense down the field? I think this offense is going to be more based around the run game, though. They have a great O-line. I think that also came out of Marcus Mariota's success last year to make the playoffs. Yeah. He has a great O-line that can protect for him, and this is also a make-or-break year for Derrick Henry. Yeah. This dude is a monster just walking. And he's not even showing that he doesn't run like it.
He doesn't see holes well.
He doesn't see holes. I think he bounces a lot of stuff, and that's not what they want out of him.
I think that's part of the problem is that he's such a monster. You think he can do that? It's like you could do that back in Alabama, bro, but not out here in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's not
this
the
has
same.
to be. I think this offense is going to be circled around Derrick Henry, though. Yeah. I think they got a new head coach in Mike Vrabel, and he's more of a ground and pound guy. Yeah. So I'm gonna guess that Titans make a push for the playoffs. They might be out on the outside looking in though. Yeah. I
want to see if they do some of those RPOs because Marcus Mariota would probably be a better quarterback to do those because he's been doing it his whole life, and then that's how the Eagles won last year. Like they went through the playoffs basically on an RPO playbook. Yeah. And it was really hard for people to stop.
Yeah. And then you look at their defense, though. They do have some nice names and some nice talent on there. They just got they got the Super Bowl hero, Malcolm Butler. Mm-hmm. They have Kevin Byard, who had a great year last year. I think he led the league in interceptions. They still got Brian Orakpo. Jarrell Casey. These guys, they have the defensive talent. They're just a team that's always going to hang in there. And they're going to hang in there in the games. Yeah. They could easily if an offense kind of just if they don't go down there and score, or if they let up, I think the Titans can easily be a team that can come back and just pull off some miraculous win.
They might. They're hard to guess. I think the Jacks. We really haven't even talked about Jacksonville.
We haven't. We're gonna save them for the last though.
We just said okay. They are gonna be great defense. Let's be honest there.
Their defense will always be.
What will Blake Bortles do though?
That's the question, though.
He's never been fantastic, in my opinion.
I don't think that Blake Bortles is going to have a great year this year.
But he didn't have a great year last year, and he did good.
I know. It's because his defense, but you have Deshaun Watson now.
Yeah,
if he stays healthy,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
If he stays healthy, he's like...
Texans, I think, are coming for that number one spot.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Because they're more balanced of a team.
Yeah.
The Texans,
The Texans are more balanced.
Whereas, like, Jacksonville kind of relies on their defense, and hopefully they're
just like
Blake. Put up 14 to 20 points.
They look at Blake and they say, Blake, just go out there, throw a few first downs, hand the ball off to Leonard Fournette.
Don't mess up too bad, big dog.
Yeah, and just if you can just get us points on each drive, that doesn't have to be a touchdown every time.
Yeah, just a little 3
That's
scheme.
fine because our defense will most likely shut offenses down.
I think if Blake somehow gets, let's just say, 12 to 15 points, either by field goals or just maybe 2 touchdowns in the whole game by getting 14, I think they can win with that.
They could.
I think they can win with that because I think their defense will be able to just hold them to around 10-ish.
Yeah. All right, so
most teams.
Let me tell me. So who takes the division, who contends, and who's last?
I think the Jags are gonna take the division, but I think it's gonna be kind of the same where they're like a 10-6 team. But I think the Texans are gonna be right there nipping at their heels. If not, they'll beat them by 1 game.
Okay, and who takes last?
Oh, Titans.
Titans?
Oh, or Colts. But it's hard to tell because Titans are gonna be. I think they'd be an average team, 8-8, 9-7, like they were last year. But
I agree with that.
Colts are the hardest team to tell, just because you said like their team. It's just we're putting a lot on Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
It's just we both know he's a good quarterback, and everyone knows he's a good quarterback when he's ready. But can he carry him?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm gonna switch it around a little bit. I'm gonna say Texans are gonna be the team to take it. Jacksonville's gonna be right there though with them.
Yeah.
And then Tennessee, yeah, they'll be that 9-7, 8-8 team, and if they get lucky, they'll make it in the playoffs off of something else happening in week 17 where this team loses and then this team wins and they get in, and then Colts I think could be one of the worst teams in the league. I know you were saying if Andrew Luck plays well, but the thing is Andrew Luck is the only you can't put it all on him. I think they don't have a running back, they don't have a defense, they don't have an O-line. It's just going to be really tough for them.
He must have the strongest back in the league because he's carrying.
He's going to be carrying the team.
He's been carrying the team since he's got there.
It's not going to be enough in my take. So
you say Texans, Jags.
Texans first, Jags contend, and Colts last. Titans, yeah, they might make it in off of some wild. Games.
So we'll go down to the West.
The
final division.
The wild AFC West.
Where your team lies.
Yeah, where it just.
We'll start out with the Chiefs though, just because I want to talk about Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like I love Mahomes, just because what I've heard from all these scouts and stuff from other podcasts, but it still is his first year really playing. Mm-hmm. I love that they had him last year sit behind Smith. Because I think Smith's a good guy to learn from, but it's just hard to predict what Mahomes gonna do.
Yeah, he has the arm. I'm sure he's a leader. I've heard he's a leader.
They say he can throw the ball 80 yards on a dime.
Have you seen him throw it? Have you seen some of his highlights?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He chucked that thing like it was no problem.
Oh my God!
I'm sure he could throw 80 yards on his knees.
Yeah, he's got a cannon.
With the Chiefs though. They have Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
They have Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm. I love Kelce.
Kelce
and Gronk are easily my 2 favorite tight ends.
Yeah, and they have Kareem Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 guys
is
what they're.
Andy Reid has always been a good coach. Everywhere he does above average.
I'll get to Andy Reid in a second. Okay. But let me go off those 3 players.
Okay.
Those guys, that is what their offense is going to consist of. Patrick Mahomes has to get the ball to those 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do have Sammy Watkins. I think he's overhyped.
Me too.
He went to Buffalo, did nothing.
He went to
the Rams last year.
He didn't do much.
He didn't do anything.
Didn't do much.
He was just there. Yeah. Like that was it. Like he caught a few touchdowns.
He was there in name only.
Yeah, and then everyone's hyping him up like he's going to be some great receiver. The Chiefs, we haven't seen anything off of him yet.
The Chiefs really haven't had a great receiver in a minute.
They haven't. Tyreek Hill is their guy. But he's just fast.
Well, I think what that will open up is if they do like those side passes to Tyreek Hill. Who's the other running back again?
Kareem Hunt.
Both very quick guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy Reid, I know, is going to successfully use them. So that might open up the defense to making them come forward, and then Mahomes might throw a bomb.
Yeah.
But then again, this is all speculation.
Mm-hmm.
You never really know what's going to happen.
And now let me get to the Andy Reid part. So I've watched, since Andy Reid has came to this division, every single year. It's not even like he has the greatest team, but he is just such a schemer.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to beat and just tear defenses apart. He knows how to play. He knows how to. Is he an offensive or a defensive? I think he's an offensive guy.
Well, actually, just let me put it in. Doug Peterson, head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles last year.
He was on the Chiefs.
And he was on the Chiefs OC, but he didn't even call plays.
Yeah.
Andy Reid was still calling plays for him, which is crazy. Good going for
Andy
Doug
Reid just
to win
knows.
It, but Andy Reid's, I'm just saying, he's a guru.
The reason why I could see the Chiefs win this division, and they're not favored to win it, but they do. Their name is out there.
Who's favored? Was it the Chargers?
I want to say the Chargers are favored.
Of course, you want to say the Chargers.
Okay. I knew you were gonna go there. Okay, those guys are my team, but I don't want to. I'll get to them in a second because the Chiefs could easily take this division again.
I think they're going to.
And it's because Andy Reid.
Yeah,
Andy Reid is the schemer. He knows
their
how to pick
is
apart.
Solid, and their offense is better than average.
I mean, come on. Most likely the Chargers find a way to lose it at the very end, and I could totally see Andy Reid picking apart the Chargers defense once again. They play Thursday night in Week 15, I think.
Yeah.
In Kansas City. That usually doesn't go well for the Chargers, and it's because Andy Reid just knows how to pick apart this team. We'll see though when they play Week 1. But yeah, Chiefs could easily take this division.
Well, I think they might.
But it's just going to depend on. It will depend on how well Patrick Mahomes plays.
Yeah. Let's jump to the Chargers. I'll start because it's your team, so I can talk some nonsense first. First of all, not even having anything to do with the team, but where they're playing, watching last year when they played the Eagles, it was all Eagles fans in the stadium, and they're playing in a soccer arena, bro.
I think that.
What is it? The StubHub Center. But the Galaxy are the one that own that place.
I don't know if that
LA Galaxy MLS team.
They talked about that last year. Some of the players did, and even head coach Anthony Lynn mentioned, he's like, "Look, I don't care if we're playing in front of 5 fans that are Charger fans. Go play for those 5 fans." And yeah, they did lose those first 4 games. And a couple of them were off of the kicking.
Yeah, but home field advantage is a big thing in the NFL, and they just don't have it.
I don't think that phases them anymore after last year.
I guess they went through it last year, so they know what to expect.
Well, they
won
like 7 games in a row, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, they know what to expect. They know they're the sister team to the Rams in LA. So
they went 6-1, not 7-0 down the stretch.
6-1, okay. But still, they're like the ugly stepchild of LA because everyone wants to be a Rams fan. No one wanted the Chargers, but I think they just kind of, how I see it is they're not going to really think about that. They want to go out there and prove everyone wrong. Mm-hmm. They have on paper this team looks phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Their defense.
Phillip Rivers is always a great quarterback.
Phillip Rivers is always you can never count him out.
Above average. He's somewhat elite kind of too. He just never really has anyone around him.
He is, in my opinion, elite, and it's not just because that's my team, but I've just been watching him since I was a little kid, and this dude, it doesn't matter what receivers he has, he's gonna get the ball to them.
And he's a gamer.
He's a gamer.
I love how he's a gamer.
He's always gonna give everything. He drives from San Diego to LA every single week.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He still lives in San Diego. He got a nice, his car. He sits in the back. He has someone drive for him. He sits in the back and studies film with his backup QBs.
Dude, he's a gamer.
Yeah, at least he did that last year.
I love Keenan Allen though.
I
think that's a good
top 5 receiver.
He's up there though.
He's up there.
He's a good receiver, and obviously having Phillip throw you the ball helps.
Yeah,
Melvin Gordon I think is gonna do better this year as well.
Their O line they got some nice pieces. Their O line, they just brought in Russell Okung they brought him in last year. He was a great addition, and then they just brought in Mike Pouncey from the Dolphins. Yep. And they're going to have their second-round pick from last year come back, Forrest Lamp. He was the number 1 guard in the draft. And then they got then they have another rookie, or not a rookie, a second-year guard who started last year as well, in Dan Feeney. Their only question is at right tackle. I don't know how much protection they'll have with Joe Barksdale. But overall, their offense looks stacked. They're tight. This is gonna be weird though. It's gonna be their first year since they've had Antonio Gates without an elite tight end. I mean, Gates isn't on the team anymore, and they just lost Hunter Henry with a torn ACL. This is going to be a weird season, though, for Rivers when it comes to
But I
having
think
a
the
reliable tight
three-headed
end.
monster of Rivers, Gordon, and Allen can do something, but let's jump down to their defense. Joey Bosa, I think, is a monster.
Joey Bosa is a monster.
What they were saying is Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram combined for the most quarterback pressures last year, 151.
That's insane.
And they were only rushing 4 people, like I'd say, like 80 to 90% of the time. So that's amazing.
Yeah. And their defense is up there. I would say. You don't have to agree with me, but I would say top 5. I mean,
we'll see.
Jaguars and Vikings, those are some
easily 1A,
insane
1B.
defenses.
Easily 1A, 1B.
Houston is up there as well, but I would put the Chargers and Houston in that same category.
I agree.
You know, they have Casey Hayward.
Mm-hmm.
They have they lost Jason Verrett again, he's done after this year, and that fool cannot stay healthy.
No.
But they have Trevor Williams, who came up as a solid corner. Their safeties, they got Derwin James. Then their linebacking squad is my only question with this defense. They're serviceable, I think, but if you have a good D line, that takes off some of the pressure of the linebackers.
Well, like you said, it hurts to lose Casey Hayward, man.
No, Casey Hayward's on the team. It's still it's Jason Verrett.
Oh, Jason Verrett. But yeah, Casey Hayward played great last year. Then.
No, yeah,
he's playing great, and so we'll see how he does. But yeah,
I think
the Chargers are a real dark horse in the AFC this year. I think they can make a bigger run than most people think.
They could go 13-3, or they can go 8-8.
That's a good point.
That's the thing, because you don't know, because there's always something that happens to them.
Let's jump to the other California team in the Bay Area. I think besides the Browns, probably the most interesting team just to follow.
They got Gruden back.
Yeah, that's why, like, what's he going to do? What's going on with Khalil Mack and him still?
I don't even know if he's going to play this year.
I know Gruden was saying he doesn't like analytics. He's trying to go to old school football, which in my opinion is not the smartest thing to do.
I think Gruden thinks he can build a team off of what he wants. And if Khalil Mack is going to have this little stalemate with the contract talks, then that's going to really hurt this team.
It's so crazy how they signed Gruden to 10-year, $100 million.
He took all their money. He took all their money.
They don't have that much money to have.
And
when do they leave? Do they leave next year or the year after? For Vegas.
I want to say next year.
Vegas. I think it is next year. I think they had 2 years in Oakland after they signed, which was last year was one, and I think this year is the last. And then they're moving to Vegas next.
Could very well be.
Which is, if I was a Raider fan, I'd be upset.
I think that's the same. That with that being that, like how they're going to be moving, that's going to be just the weird vibe surrounding this team the whole year.
Yeah.
It happened when the Chargers left San Diego. It was just like this kind of sucks. We're going to leave the city that actually loves us over to LA. So I think that's going to really hurt their fans, and it's going to really mess with the players' heads. I think they could be a good team. They have a nice receiving corps. They have Jordy Nelson's he's getting old. I think he'll be more of a possession receiver.
He's like one of those receivers that just runs a crisp route.
He knows how to get open.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper, he's
athletic, but
he's athletic. I don't know how he's gonna do. He was on my fantasy team last year, and he had an awful year. So I don't know what he'll do. They got Martavius Bryant, who's an athlete.
He's an athlete.
So
he causes a lot of trouble.
He does. They have an O-line as well though that can protect Derek Carr. So
and I think their defense, I don't know how Khalil Mack's gonna do. Obviously, if he plays, he's gonna be great. But
they got Bruce Irvin.
Does he want to play for John Gruden now?
I don't know.
That's the thing. He's gonna play just so he could get his money, but that doesn't mean his heart's in it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't like.
Yeah, that's why I said they're the most interesting team to follow this year because it's gonna be up and down.
Okay, now let's move over to the Denver Broncos. They just got Case Keenum, who was a part of that Minnesota Miracle, who had a great season last year. Do you see the same success?
The Broncos picked up I forgot who they picked up as their first draft pick, but
they got
lineman, right?
Yeah, they got Chubb, Bradley Chubb.
Yep, who I think the Browns should have picked instead of the running back they picked on number 4, but now they have him on the other side of Von Miller.
You didn't say that.
Huh?
You didn't say that last time.
I said that in our draft podcast, bro.
I thought you went for Darnold.
I said they should have. No, I said you should have picked up Darnold as well.
Oh,
instead of Baker.
You gave Chubb to the fourth pick.
The fourth pick.
Okay.
Because I said they should have shored up their D line and then quarterback.
Okay. That's
now and especially since we're not going to the Browns.
We're not going to go. We're not going to the Browns.
We're already running late. So yeah, the Broncos. Their defense is always pretty solid. It's hard to play in the Mile High. So it's always good.
I can give them some wins.
But I don't trust Case Keenum, bro.
I don't think this will be as good of a year for Case Keenum. I think he just thrived under that system or that scheme in Minnesota.
And I think Pat Shurmur was also a huge help to him.
Yeah. Receiving-wise, they have Emmanuel Sanders. Always serviceable. He's fast.
Moving.
He's getting older.
Yeah, dude. Wasn't he on the Steelers when they won?
He was on the Steelers, yeah, and that was forever ago.
That was like 20 years
ago. I feel like I was like freshman in high school when he was there.
And then, so that's what I'm saying. He's getting older.
And then Demaryius Thomas, who...
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
He has his off years, though. So we'll see which Demaryius Thomas shows up this year. They do have a rookie running back in Royce Freeman, who... I was doing some research on. He's doing pretty well this preseason. He could be. They need a run game, so they need a run game to have any success.
Yeah.
So for them to, if they can get a run game going, they could easily, win some games. They could maybe compete. I do think though that Denver will be the last place team this year.
I think. Well,
my take on that.
I think Raiders and Denver are both gonna be bad. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know who's gonna be worse. But I know they're both going to be bad.
Yeah, they'll be on the bottom half of this division.
Honestly, to make you a little happy, I think the Chargers might take it.
I think this year,
I think they finally have all the pieces.
They have the pieces, but can they stay healthy? They have to stay healthy because.
Well, that's what the caveat. Can any team stay healthy?
But
that's
this team has always had so many injuries.
Yeah.
They lose 2 or 3 key players to their team before the season even starts every year. The past 4 years, I feel like.
I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to remain where they are at 10-6. It's just can the Chargers do better than that? Yeah. I think Kansas City is going to be at 10-6, but can the Chargers win more than that? And I think they can. I think in my opinion, they're the darkest horse in all of the NFL.
Yeah.
But especially in the AFC.
Yeah. All right. So.
Prediction to win.
So prediction to win. Chargers win this the AFC West. Competing with them, Kansas City.
Easy.
Last place, I'll give it to Denver this year.
Okay. I think the Raiders will have something to do, yeah. And you can never count out, what's their quarterback's name? The
Derek Carr?
Derek Carr, yeah.
Yeah. So
you can never count
the same question, so who takes the conference?
See, I think the Patriots are just too hard.
Patriots?
But once again, I think the Chargers are going to be a dark horse, but... I think the Patriots are just too playoff experienced. It's going to be hard to beat them in the playoffs when it comes down to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially if they somehow get a home field advantage again.
Let me throw this one at you. Let's see what you think about this. So Patriots, I'll give Patriots, the sure, because they always do it. But don't count out the Houston Texans.
Nope.
I think the Texans could take this conference as well.
Texans, yeah, and I mean, as we said, the Jaguars, their defense is really strong and solid. It's just how good can their offense be?
Exactly.
All right. So I think we did it. We went through all the divisions. You got anything else to say?
No, I'm pretty good. That was
I'm pretty stoked for this year, though. As an NFL fan, it's going to be a lot different than most years because it's very unpredictable, like we were saying in a lot of the divisions. So it's going to be fun and interesting to watch.
Yeah, can't wait to do another one next Tuesday, previewing week 1.
So we're doing one every Tuesday until basically the NFL's over. We'll stay with Anthony Bertran. Bert.
Yeah, so that's about it. Every Tuesday we're going to cover them. So this one we were just kind of predicting who will do the best in each division.
Next week we'll kind of do more of a preseason overlook because it's actually the last game of preseason.
Preseason overlook, and then also we should do previewing week 1.
Yeah, of course. Because it'll be nice to know what the preseason looks like, because Game 4 of the preseason is always the best one to watch for starters.
All right.
So
thanks for listening.
I'm Sundeen signing out.
Anthony Bertran signing out. Have a good one. We'll see you next week.